mind elevation.
Of the male and female slaves. What would be that phenomenon? The truth of our African awareness rising up, the truth that they intentionally stole and hid. If we could ever go back and reclaim our story and put back in the psyche of our young people how great we as Africans are, that would be the phenomenon that would reverse their program. Talks about the Negro marriage unit. Goes on to say, here's what we must do. We must breed 2 African males with 2 African females. Then take the African male away. Even though this is way back in the 1700s, people, it's still happening today. Breed them, make them have children, and then remove the African male from them and keep them moving and working. Let's say one African female bears an African female child and the other bears an African male. Both African females being without the influence of the African male will raise their offspring in a frozen, independent psychological state. Y'all hear this? They will raise their offspring into reverse positions. The one with the female offspring will teach her daughter to be like herself, independent and distrustful of the ability of the black male to be strong and protective. And the one with the male offspring will raise her son to be frozen and in subconscious fear for his life. Will raise him to be mentally dependent and weak but physically strong. And God knows we got a problem, because I see more brothers walking around pumping iron and ain't got good sense up here. You're a brute and you have no intellect. Prison system addresses that, because why is it that we have weight rooms like crazy in our prisons, and if they do have a library, it ain't much bigger than a cubicle. Then it goes on to say, this is what we call good, sound, long-range, comprehensive planning. Look at the person next to you and say, they think way down the road. In fact, let's look back at them one more time and say, they think way, way down the road. You must understand this, brothers and sisters. See, it's hard for many of us to comprehend that because we're trying to get to the end of the week. Many of us don't even know how you're going to pay your bills in the next couple of weeks. You understand what I'm saying? So it's hard for us to even think that far in advance. But we're talking about people who have done some long-range planning here. Then it goes on to say, our experts. Now, what does that mean? That literally means that they have people who are psychologists, who are actually full-time engaged in engineering a society that will end up unproductive like many of our people are today due to their program. Our experts warned us about the possibility of this phenomena taking place, of their roles being put back in its proper place, meaning somebody would come along and teach the truth and bring liberation. So our experts warned us that this might happen, because they said that the mind has a strong drive to correct itself. Did y'all hear that? And it goes on to say, if over a period of time these Africans can get in touch with some substantial original historical base, good God Almighty, they could reverse the process. Again, they don't want us to get connected to our history.
Mind elevation.